Back to the last time we saw this map, Jason, I have to say it was Esker as well with an incredibly strong Mei on defense, especially. Just the right clicks were coming out thick and fast here. I think, we've seen great stuff from Tvik on the same hero. Those two are very well matched against each other. They might even go up against each other in the World Cup, in fact. That'd be good to see. But right now, it's with Rogue and Lunatic-hai. One map advantage to the Koreans.
Honestly, my boy Miro, his Zarya was MVP of the last series. His Zarya has been insane. I still want to say one of the best in the world that I've ever seen. His tracking has been something godly. But here we go. Rogue on the defense, actually trying to force an attack, and that wall's actually going to miss. He was trying to catch out the Reinhardt, played by Dean, to be able to force a quick kill.
Oh, Li Taejun going to fall early on there. AKM actually finds the Roadhog, and well, it might be a little bit of a downward spiral here, a Lunatic fight for this particular fight. Esker trying to go for a very passive flashbang, doesn't actually catch on anyone at all, and you can see he's just having to back off on this ledge. Getting a bit of damage in. Actually, with that kill on towards Wins, that's not bad. That might be a bit of an opening here as he's going to try and make a little bit more progress. But again, remember, damage without kills, that's cheeky from Tvik. He knew Esker was there the whole time. He was just wanted to catch up to him, and now the Blizzard's available.
He used the wall to actually get up there instead of running around, and they're going to continue to push through. AKM picks himself up a double. He's going for the freeze on Miro. And that will be Rogue holding strong. They're holding a lot more aggressively than they were before, and that was with them losing a man. That was with Wins getting caught out by a fire strike.
Now, in that fight as well, that was a Nano Boost Death Blossom there as well. So a little bit committed, but Tvik managed to hold on to his Blizzard. So at the very least, he can sort of stump Lunatic-hai if they try and go for a rush or something aggressive with that ultimate. Right, Reinforced not too far away from his as well. So Ashadow's going to be on the cards potentially now as Lunatic-hai want to press forward. Esker does have an ultimate, but pretty tough to make it work in this situation. Good hook though coming in. Unco getting hooked in. That's not a good start at all here for Rogue. I mean, they've already used that Nano Boost, but they need the healing. Now the Dead are going to come out from Esker. Not going to find anyone now, as well as the Earthshatter comes in off the side. That's Reinforced trying to do it while staying safe, but look at that. Wind's getting caught as he goes over the edge.
And the Blizzard hasn't come out of Tvik. No, he actually does save it, so they're not going to commit to here. I think they realize they have a second chance to fight this one. They see Nox to come up to speed boost them in, and Esker pushing up aggressively. He doesn't have the Dead anymore since he just used it in that fight, but Miro, if he times his Graviton Surge right, I don't really see anyone on Rogue touching the point.
Surprised Esker, we're going to push a little bit more forward here, at least for information. Or catch Unco as he tries to get back to the standard sniper spot there. You can just see him through the wireframe. But this payload's advanced here now. It's going to be Rogue pushing out. They need to go together. Reinforces a little bit ahead of his team now. The Graviton Surge is going to come in. It's going to force, of course, a sound barrier out here for the side of Rogue, but that might not last for too long there. Nox going to go down very early on. A lot of damage being thrown in their direction. With Miro and Dean opening up, it'll be the rest of Lunatic-hai to get the notches in the belt, and the kills as the white comes in. And Rogue are pushed away.
Yeah, Wins. He didn't have a Graviton Surge the entirety of that defensive phase. 92%. You got picked off so early multiple times, and as a Zarya, that's probably one of the worst things you could ever have happen. The fact that your shield recharges and the fact that you lose your energy when you die means you need to stay alive as long as you possibly can by escaping at any possibility. And this is the price you're going to pay. Miro had Graviton Surge, you didn't, you're going to lose the fight.
Just pressing forward now as well. Just avoiding the Zarya barrage is coming in, just going to step down. Again, just trying to keep Rogue honest here as well. Force them back a little bit. It's kind of the idea here for McCree, because otherwise this is just healing that Anana can get a quick ult off the back of that. But Dead coming in off from the side. I wonder if this is a distraction, because no one else from Lunatic-hai really making a move, but he catches Wins. Wins drops again. He loses his life so cheaply for the third time already in this game.
Still going to be healed up here as well. Gets a turn on. Did Nox really try to chase him because they knew he had no HP? He goes in, but Esker gets the healing he needs from his teammate, and not to mention the flashbang to turn it around. Kai, they're looking a lot better than they did the first time they played Route 66. Maybe they've learned a thing or two, and even with Rogue adapting their style, they're still struggling to put up a good defense past the first point.
Yeah, and as Esker got healed up there, Ru Jae-hong now has his Nano Boost available. That's big in this situation. Well, I may not go into anyone for a little while. Maybe Dean will be able to get himself a Earthshadow off the back, but now Unco going to try and make this work. He's pushed AKM into the mix. He's sort of set him off and said, off you go, son, see what you can achieve. And so far, he only gets the one kill. Dean goes down, but this should be enough to force Lunatic-hai back now. One more on towards Miro. And again, Rogue this time actually managed to establish a little bit more here. This is very important, as Rogue had to come out the gates, come out of their spawn and hope that they made a good engagement off the bat. They didn't have any time to try and pick and choose their vantage points and their positions, but now they can. You can see now they've stabilized somewhat. They're going to try and use the high ground of the bridge and at least maybe give themselves a little bit more, decision-making power when it comes to the tug-of-war between who starts the fight and who finishes it.
Well, they took that last fight with only 2 ultimate speed used. They have the Graviton Surge and the Blizzard. This would be a perfect area to throw everything into because there's nowhere they can go from here. Actually, that's going to be a charge point at Dean, but he gets frozen in the midst of Esker's not being challenged towards the back, but Tvik picks up one. He gets the second. Winston's going to come through, and Esker in the cage just can't hit the shots. The front line's too strong. and he's going to be chased away, and Rogue will hold again. A great read, knowing exactly the direction Lunatic-hai were going through the caverns.
The best way to deal with a McCree without actually killing him is to force him into a very sharp angle, or force him into a point where he can only sort of peek every now and then. The threat is far too high for Esker to even bother going for that one. There's no point giving up his life and giving free ult %. But speaking of which, Lunatic-hai have got plenty of the aforementioned ult %. They've got the Graviton Surge, they've got an Earth Shadow, they've got a Deadeye, and a Sound Barrier to work with in this fight. That is almost a full palette of ults you need to have a successful team fight. Let's see if it works out though as the Deadeye opens things up.
Oh, he's gonna slept. Unco catches him out. The Deadeye's gonna do absolutely nothing. They have the nano boost over onto AKM, knocks you pop the Sound Barrier just to make sure they're healthy. And off of that one sleep dart alone out of Unco, it looks like Rogue are gonna hold strong in the Blizzard. It looks like he wants to hold on to it as long as he possibly can. Maybe see if he doesn't have to even use it. But the Blizzard's gonna go down. They've lost too many men. Now Mirror chasing him. He gets flashbanged up from behind by Eska. He's still alive though. He's in his ice block.
Now Esker going to chase down on towards Wins. The shield is coming up on the Xayah, but he's being pressured heavily. He's not going to be able to stand up against the heat. Tvik actually gets on towards Miro there as well. He's still at large, but he's on his own at this stage. But Lunatic-hai running out of time. Now this is a far better performance for Rogue on this map, but now it needs to be just that one step better. They need to get on towards this point and stop it. I think this payload should be getting home if Rogue don't respawn quickly enough. It's going to be Esker to push ahead here. Finds the head, but now it's going to be reinforced on towards the point. They've got a Graviton Surge here. Rogue needs to make the absolute most of this though. If they're going to stop them here, this will be the great time to do it as well. But Deadeye comes up here for Esker. He's got a good position. It's safe positioning, it's peripheral, it's off towards the side, but the wall gets put up in his way. Still hard for Rogue to win this fight. They've already lost out on some key players with Unco falling down. The Graviton Surge really comes at a bit of an underwhelming moment here. And Esker again, the fact that we're still watching him means that he's been left to his own devices.
Where's AKM? He had Death Blossom the entire time. They had a Graviton Surge. What happened to this man? Because he didn't do anything. He didn't accomplish much with that at all. And I'm not really sure why.
His team was dead. He came in last there. He saw him come in over the top.
Oh, that could have been the big hold. That could have been the final nail in the coffin for Lunatic-hai, at least on this map. But Rogue, still, they have 3 big ults to go. And they're going to have knocked Sound Barrier in just a few seconds.
It's tough for attacking Reapers to get a good vantage point to jump down with a nano boost here. Much easier for the defensive ones, because these ledges are far more accessible to your defending team, as you sort of, it's kind of logical, I feel. And AKM's going to go in, do just that, gets himself 2 kills, and now it has to be a counter Death Blossom from this position from Lee Tae-hoon, but he's going to back away. He's not even going to go for it here. He gets cut down by Ryan Force before he can even escape now. AKM flashed up, a little bit aggressive from the man. Lucky to get away here, and Reinforce hastily shields him on up. It's going to be a quick heal into the ER, and he's going to be ready to roll for the next fight.
We can't really afford to do that. We saw Tvik do it last time these two teams met on round 66, and that might have actually cost them that map and that series. But we have Power Rage popped onto Miro. Not to mention another Death Blossom coming out of Lee Tae-jun. Not to mention with the nano boost on top of things. He's trying to go towards the back. He's trying to do a little bit more work here with the help of Miro on the win. So he's actually switched over from the Zarya into this last point alone. He's going to get healed back up again out of Yu Jae-hong.
I'll tell you what. Unco is hitting some incredible sleep darts there. We saw Miro slept in the middle of the entire lineup of Rogue. He's able to get away though, and this is the thing, but AKM's going to come and he gets charged out, and he's going to hit the wall. Yep, the charge is going to complete. AKM gets smushed up against there. A very grisly portrait to adorn the walls here in the final state. Speaking of that, it's going to be Lunatic-hai getting very, very close to their intended target now. Tvik forced to go into ice form. Wall goes up, but the Winston already coming in over the top. Miro's going to ensure that Tvik can't hang around to fight and to stall this payload out any further.
Oh, Reinforced, he catches him with the shield down. He's going to get slept on though. He's going to be knocked onto the ground. Finally, he's been able to be woken up. He's going to knock someone against the kill to Lee Tae-jun. How does Lucio do that?
Here it is.
Back to join the party. The Graviton Surge is there. And in the overtime, with no one touching the point anymore, that should be it. That should be Rogue holding Lunatic-hai from finishing off the map.
Primal rate from Miro though, so there's going to be a little bit of stall out here, but he's forced to go away from the payload there. Not sure why. I guess sometimes when you jump up, you can't decide when you come down. And Miro, well, I wouldn't be too upset with that one there. This is the furthest we've seen Route 66 push today. If you remember earlier on, it was a full hold, so we didn't need to see much from the attacking side of Lunatic-hai. Yes, it's an uncompleted map, but that last stretch is treacherous for teams that are unprepared or for teams that are unfortunate and the ult numbers are not in their favour. So, still a big task for Rogue to match or exceed that here.
We've seen Rogue pull out a couple of different tricks when it comes to attacking on Route 66. I wonder if we're going to see Tvik on Tracer again. He had a phenomenal start, actually. He was pretty much, I think, one of the last people alive when we were in overtime, and he was bouncing in and out of the payload. He actually got a couple of pulse bombs off in that fight. I think he got a total of 2, but it just wasn't enough. But we've seen he can play anything. So can Eska. That man, May, Reaper, you give him anything, and he'll be able to play it pretty much to the top level. I just want to know what Rogue's going to go for, because they have the option to go for Hanzo. They can always go for this peaks, always go for that lucky pick. But they're going to need to snowball this no matter what, because if they can't catch that distance, Lunatic-hai will win 2-0. And that forces Rogue to go up against AF Blue.
Rogue were very close to actually full holding Lunatic-hai on this map for the first time. When we saw their defense, it was very close. Wasn't quite enough there. Lunatic-hai able to press forward and get that first checkpoint, but that's still a promising sign for Rogue. It means they can put up a competitive defense up on this first point. It's not always easy to hold via big L's. Quite often, it only takes 1 or 2 pushes for teams to get there. I mean, we talk about it being a super long walk back to the first point for defending teams, even more so on this map. It is a long haul to get there. So, Rogue, they need to be, again, quite prudent. Frugal. They're going to spread those ults out over potentially a long time, and the more efficient that they are in staving Lunatic-hai back, the more frequently those ults are going to be coming up.
All right, so Mitch, you always ask me what's my prediction. I gotta ask you, what's yours? Are we going to see a second, technically third map? Or is Lunatic-hai going to close out in 2?
I think Rogue are going to hold them in the second phase.
Okay.
Well, we'll push through. Okay, sorry.
I was like, holding.
Wait. Rogue was just defending. No, I think Rogue can finish this one here as well. I think they can breeze through the second phase if all goes well in this first point. It really depends how the fight goes. I think Rogue can do this. I want to see 3 maps.
Well, they're playing their standard route though. You can see Tvik over on Mei. You see AKM back on Reaper. And Taejun going to be on Roadhog looking for an early pick. They still have Eska on the Mei, so they've got the triple tank set up. They've got the Ana, and speaking of Ana, Rouge Hong already up 70%.
Sleep Dart briefly going in the direction of Dean, but he's rudely awoken by further damage coming away from Rogue. Some decent progress being made, and SK needs to be very careful. He's forced into an ice form already, so he was a little bit low. And unfortunately, Unco can't help wins there. There was a wall up preventing any sort of healing coming in, and now he's going to get challenged out. Toby, ballsy as heck now, going to go straight towards Unco, and Unco now needs to fend for himself as he's lost Reinhardt, and of course, the Reaper on his side. It's going to be reinforced on AKM to fall. And Eska now, we've seen this position before, as actually Tvik managed to peek forward and actually get a kill from there. So Eska just checking to see if anyone's trying to use that ledge as a vantage point, or at least a rally point to make the first attack happen.
Pretty insane to see Unco actually scoping in quite a bit, because he plays on like 800 DPI or 400 DPI, but he plays on like 20-something sensitivity, which is just ridiculous. You slightly nudge his mouse, and he can do practically a 360. But the fight is going to be breaking out again. We do have Blizzard up for both Mays. Tvik looking to hold on to his, maybe wait for the engagement of Eska. But the Nano Boost, Rouge Hong is actually also to be pulled. I mean, if you want to let Li Jun actually wait for his whole hog, it could just tear through the entirety of Rogue.
Well, this time AKM wins the 1v1 against Eska now. That's a good start, but still all of a sudden Li Jun comes in, 3 kills with the whole hog, and that's really all that needs to be done here. Maybe just a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of janitor work for the man. Ooh, not quite going to connect here, but still, this is very, very strong.
Goodbye present from Unco.
Unco is not playing around. He will peek you. The guy is ballsy, that's for sure. We've already said that this match, but his AKM sort of slept there as well. He needs to be healed up a little bit, but he'll be fine to rejoin. Though he's giving his position away now. Lunatic-hai know to expect him.
Well, they got a sound barrier, but Toby actually had to use that last fight to make sure they can stay through.
Oh. That's going to be the Earthshatter coming in there as well. That wall blocks the sleeping dart from Unco, and he dies as a result. Eska now as well with a bit of freedom. I think it was a reinforced forced to back away, and even AKM now. No more 1v1 between AKM and Eska, but still Tvik from behind gets himself 2 quick kills, and AKM going to fall now. A lot to do still for the Mei. He's trying to split this 1v2 into 2 1v1s, but no. In towards the ice form now, hoping for wins to come. The hook missing from Li Taejun, and that's going to give a bit of a chance here now for Rogue to come forward. The 2v2 going to work out. The charge in though, perfect connection. Stunning stuff there. It's going to be Tvik knocked up. Rogue going to be coming forward again. It's a 1-for-1 trade as Wins picks up Li Taejun, and now Miro getting the shield up on towards his Ana, pushing forward towards Wins, who has slept there. Shield here for that Zarya. Going to let him charge up a little bit more, but Miro doesn't care. He wants to force him back.
It's an Ana boost on Dean, and Dean's just charging straight through Unco. He's looking for a sleep dart potentially. He's able to pop his own onto AKM, and the counter charge comes in. They're trying to use their own Ana boost to take down Dean. He will fall. The ground surge even going to come through. It's just a bloodbath here, but it looks like it's going Rogue's way. Yusha Hong able to respawn, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Well, it's going to take a little bit more here, but AKM is healed up, and he's going to be looking over for Li Taejun here. Whole Hog comes in again. This forces AKM away. He's going to just have to juke around the pillar for the moment here and come back with Hellfire shotguns. Couple more shots to do the job, and he does manage to win out that situation. And not committed by Li Taejun for very little effect. And now AKM in a great position to flank out on towards this Reinhardt, but Dean gets himself to 200 HP back, and AKM forced to back away. But on his heels is going to be Rouge Hong coming in, and now 23 seconds remaining for Rogue. This could still be the 2-0.
That was a huge kill, because now they have to wait for a reinforce and AKM to come back. That's going to take another 10 seconds of time, which leaves them, what, 5 seconds? And they have to touch the payload to make sure it goes into overtime. Tvik is going to have his Blizzard, but if Eska uses this properly, if he can assassinate anyone from behind or from the side, they can completely shut Rogue out.
And AKM has himself a death blossom, but like he said, no Nano Boost available. He's got the Blizzard coming in towards the lower levels there, but it's going to be Unco and AKM to fall down. Nox as well. Dean gets himself too, and we're a Rogue nowhere to be seen right now. They're frozen solid. Reinforced there has to look on in horror as he can't even move his limbs. Now the hammer comes down, but it's walked out by the shield. It's a complete and utter crush there towards Rogue. They capitulate. They don't even take the first point. A Lunatic-hai, second time running. They win it 2-0, and they take first spot in this group.
Oh, wow. Honestly, well deserved by them too. Coming in as, I guess, the underdog in this matchup twice. Well, I don't actually this one. At least it was the first time they did meet. Considering we have pretty much no information on them in general, for them to come out swinging like this to beat the best of what Europe has to offer, that's saying a lot. And bro, the confidence they had even coming into this when we just talked to them saying, we're going to take this. There's no chance they're going to beat us. They have to sit back and wonder, well, what do we need to do differently? Because now they have to play AF Blue next week in their quarterfinal. They have to play another Korean team where they've already shown they're weak to their style.
Needless to say, I think that Rogue are going to have to use this time very efficiently to research their opponents coming up. They have been